In Minecraft, there are 28 different enchantments, as well as Curse of the Binding and Curse of the Vanishing. But, really, which enchantment is the best one? Today we're looking at all 28 enchantments and ranking them in order quickly, not counting Curse of the Binding and Curse of the Vanishing. If you enjoy this kind of content, then be sure to subscribe, but let's get started. So, the worst one is going to be Bane of Arthropods. So this is the very worst 5 books that I could find. Like my reasoning, Bane of Arthropods, it basically only puts to spiders, and you can't stack it with sharpness on your sword, so it's really useless. Next, it's going to be Smite. Same thing, it's for monsters. It's just better to put sharpness in general, because Smite is not going to be that good. Blast Protection is average, but to be honest, it's okay, but really who uses it, because then it can't stack with Protection, which is more helpful. And Depth Strider, sure, you can walk on water, but with the new update Aquata coming out, you can you can swim, and that's much better. Frostwalker is here because it might seem like a cool enchantment to have, but in reality, it's not really that good, and I don't find it super useful in game. And now we're gonna look at the middle 8, and here we go. We have Aqua Affinity is okay. You can mine Fester underwater, which is pretty good for ancient temples, which is why it's here and not in the worst 5. Sweeping Edge is good if you're playing above 1.8 where you can hit multiple opponents at once. Sweeping Edge makes that happen, so that's cool. Lure 1 and Luck of the Sea are usually bad, but with an AFK fishing farm, they actually can help a lot, so that's why they're here. Looting is pretty good because you can use it for a bunch of different farms to get mobs off, to get drops off mobs like Wither Skeleton Skulls. Next is Respiration. It's pretty cool because it lets you last underwater longer, and that's really probably the best with the new update coming out. And Fire Protection is pretty good. I mean, if you go to the Nether, it's definitely something you want to have with you, and that's why I decided to put it here. And finally, Projectile Protection, because it does really help, especially in multiplayer when you have bows and stuff. And finally, top 15. So number 15 is going to be Feather Falling. This one is extremely useful in single player, but not so useful in multiplayer because of how it works. Next one is going to be Silk Touch. Silk Touch is super useful to get resources such as leaves from trees. That's a pretty bad example because you can use shears, but if you want to get the ores instead of the actual thing that comes out, I don't know why you would want to use Silk Touch. I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, like getting stone, but this is pretty cool and it's a pretty good enchantment. Next is Flame. It's one of the best bow enchantments out there. It not really has a great use, but it's still good for bow PvP, and it's extremely useful in multiplayer PvP. Punch is an even better bow enchantment. If you're playing Sky Wars or any other game where you're over the void, it's awesome to have Punch to knock your opponents off their bridges. And next is Fortune. Fortune is probably one of the best mining enchantments, where you can get bonus resources from diamonds or lapis or redstone, and it's probably an amazing enchantment that you should have on your pickaxe. Next is going to be Power, the best bow enchantment, because, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, you get more power. Next is Thorns. This is a pretty underrated enchantment, but it's still great when you're fighting mobs or even players. When they hit you, they take damage back, and it's underrated, but it's extremely useful. Next is Fire Aspect. It's good for fighting mobs, but it's even better for PvP, where you can, do fire damage and stuff. Afterward, it's Knockback. Again, this bridge fighting. It's a good enchantment to get combos on your opponent. This is the last bow one, Infinity. Infinity is a pretty good enchantment just because you only need 1 arrow, and it's pretty useful to find this and great for fighting things like the dragon, or you're not going to probably have it in multiplayer, but in single player it's still good. Efficiency is also the best enchantment out there. And basically, as you can see, just, mine faster, but it still helps a lot, and efficiency is really good and useful. Next is Unbreaking, and self-explanatory again. And top 3, this could go any order you want them to, but we're going to have Sharpness, Protection, and Mending. So these 2 are pretty much multiplayer strong and somewhat single-player strong, but Mending is an all-around great enchantment for farms, elytra, tools, armor, and that's why these are our top 3, and yeah. So I hope this video wasn't too long, I'm not really sure. But if you enjoyed, then be sure to give a like and subscribe. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Peace.